Hello, we are Kovu and Dog. Today, well, me mainly, but he's also here, wanted to talk about something, which might seem like a bit of a random topic, and it probably is, but I wanted to talk about it anyway. Also, I did dye my hair. Thanks for noticing. Um, the dog is still here, he's just lying down. Like that. Okay. Anyway. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, I'm good. I wanted to talk about not being very good at your interests. Might sound weird, but I do believe that someone out there can relate to this. Uh, yeah. So, it's something I've thought about a bit recently, so I'm going to talk about myself and use myself as an example, but this goes for other things as well, like sports and cooking and whatnot. Um, so basically, if you didn't know, I quite enjoy music. I like listening to music and I like making music. And recently, I've also gotten into painting. In the past, I've also written quite a bit. I do it sometimes, but not as much as I used to. Um, that said, I'm I'm not a very skilled musician. I'm and this is not a video to like get down on myself, but I just want to explain my point of view. So, I'm not a very good musician, though I really appreciate your uh, comments and your support and compliments. I don't see myself as a good musician. I'm not particularly good at singing. Um, I have kind of a bit of a weird voice, in my opinion, and I am also not very. Like, I can play the guitar just fine, but I'm not particularly good at it. And the piano as well, I'm not very good at it. And violin, especially, though I haven't played that in a while, I suck at the violin. I sound like a dying seagull. Um, Painting I've gotten into recently, and I'm like, I'm not particularly good at that either. And when you have interests like that, or just in general, it is so easy to compare yourself to other people because some people have been doing this for a really long time and they've gotten really good at it. Or even if you have done it for a very long time, you might not feel that you're good at all compared to other people. And you may feel that there is this expectation like, if I write music, I I have to make it really good and really complicated and complex and uh, write for a ton of instruments or something like that. Or if I'm gonna sing and cover a song, I need to be really good at it and it needs to be impressive. Same with art, like painting. If I'm gonna paint something, it needs to turn out good. It needs to look realistic or at least beautiful. And I as well have a bit of a weird interest when it comes to music history, but I sometimes get down on myself and I'm like, do I even know enough about music history for it to, to be able to count it as an interest? I enjoy classical music and older music in general, and I find it very fascinating to learn about it, but I don't technically know that much about it. So can I even say that I'm interested in it when there are people out there who know so much more than me? What do you do? Um, and they say not to compare yourself to other people, but that can be very difficult. Um, but I did realize the importance of that somewhat recently when I was having a. Is lighting weird? I was having a bit of a hard time, which is also why I dyed my hair. You know those jokes that people make about dyeing their hair during a mental breakdown? It's not a joke, like it actually happens. Um, but yeah, I just needed a fresh start. Anyway, um, I realized the importance of that recently, not to compare yourself to others, when I was having a hard time and I desperately needed something to do. I just needed to do something to get my mind off things. And then I turned to my interests. So, I painted a bit. I wrote some stuff on the guitar. I have this blog that is dedicated to my friend Jay, my friend Josh, where I recommend classical music pieces that I enjoy, and I write a bit about them. I can put the link in the description if you're interested. I think he's the only one who actually reads that blog. Not that I mind, it is dedicated to him after all, but it would be fun to hear what you had to say if any of you were interested in that. But anyway, right, I turned to those things, and they really helped, because in the moment I didn't really feel the need to compare myself to others, because the goal wasn't to do something impressive with it, you know? My goal wasn't to make a super impressive painting or an amazing song, or to write completely accurately and very thoroughly and elaborate about this Bach adagio, or Bach. Right. See? I'm even insecure about how to pronounce my composers' names. Like, anyway. Right, I didn't worry about making it impressive because I needed to do it for me. And I also sorted out all my painting stuff, and I thought about making that into a video, like reorganizing my stuff, my setup. But I tried to film some of it, but I just decided not to. And I also made this thing for my room that I thought was kind of cool, which maybe I'll show you sometime. It's not that complicated, but basically I have a record player, and I'm gonna explain it to you. So I came up with this idea, which I thought was genius. So while I painted, I played stuff on my record player, and I might pop a picture in here, because I had an idea that, oh, wouldn't it be funny if I could, whenever I played something, I could put the cover somewhere with the sign over it that said now playing, so whenever I played something, I could switch it up, you know? Might pop a picture in here. I thought it was genius. My dad helped me find those two white things at the bottom, which holds the cover up, and I made a little sign. Anyway, yeah, stuff like that, you know. I decided to just do it for myself, not make it into a video, which I also think is important. I have a bit of a mixed relationship with YouTube at the moment, because I think that when I was younger, I found it cooler in a way. Not that it isn't cool, but I kind of wanted to put stuff like very, I don't know, I just wanted to put as much as I could into videos. Act kind of, not hyper, because I was myself, but put on my, you know, YouTube thing. And it was very YouTube-y with background music and editing and fancy stuff, but I don't do that anymore, as you can tell. And I realized that, you know, I don't have that many people who watch my videos compared to how many subscribers that I have. But I don't mind. I'm not planning on disappearing from YouTube anytime soon, but I'm also not planning to do this stuff forever. And all in all, it's been really nice recently to just do stuff for myself. And I guess that is my message for you, which my kind of, could have said this in a more concise way, but basically, it's okay to not be particularly good at your interests. If they bring you joy, even if the outcome to other people isn't super impressive, you know, that stuff doesn't matter. Like, as long as it gives you joy and it's meaningful to you, then keep doing it. The goal of a hobby isn't to be as good as possible at that hobby. It is to enjoy doing it, not get super stressed out and down on yourself for not being as good as someone else. And someone else out there might compare themselves to you and think, oh, I wish I was as good as them. The fun thing about art in particular, though, is that it's very subjective, so what you you may look at someone else's art and think that it's amazing, but someone else might, or most likely, look at their own art and think it sucks. Or someone else might look at that same art and also think it sucks. Do you get this? What I'm trying to convey here? That it's subjective, and that's fun. I'm gonna go now. But, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, the dog. Look at those tiny feet. He's ticklish. Wait, let's see. Yeah. The dog says goodbye. I say goodbye, and stay safe and eat, drink, and do not hurt yourselves, and remember they were so much more than you could ever realize, seriously. And, yeah. I hope you are enjoying your Friday, and that you'll have a beautiful weekend. Okay. Goodbye, thank you for watching. Bye.